Ladies and gentlemen, imagine for a moment that someone handed you the secret to success. Not someday, not next year, but today, right now. Imagine if I told you that this secret could transform your life, your career, your relationships, and your very sense of who you are. You might think it's complicated, but it's not. In fact, it's so simple, so incredibly simple, that most people overlook it completely. They spend years searching for wealth, happiness, and fulfillment in places where it can never be found, when all along the key was inside them. Yes, inside you. The strangest secret in the world is that we become what we think about most of the time. Most people wander through life aimlessly, drifting from one day to the next without direction. They react to circumstances instead of creating them. They complain about the world, about luck, about what they don't have, yet they fail to realize that their thoughts are shaping everything they experience. Your mind is like a garden. Every thought is a seed, and if you plant weeds, you will reap weeds. But if you plant flowers, carefully, consistently, your life will bloom. Have you ever paused for a moment to consider the power of your thoughts? I'm talking about those quiet moments when the world around you falls silent and you are left alone with your own mind. What is it that you are thinking about in those moments? Are your thoughts filled with hope and possibility? Or do they lean toward doubt, fear, and uncertainty? The truth is, most people don't realize the tremendous influence their thoughts have over their lives. We go through the motions of daily life, reacting to situations, to people, to circumstances, but rarely do we stop to ask ourselves, what am I truly focusing on? What is occupying my mind, and more importantly, where is it leading me? You see, the greatest mystery in life lies in something so simple, so fundamentally universal, that it's often overlooked. It's not hidden in some distant corner of the world or locked behind the doors of wealth and success. It's inside each one of us, right now ready to be discovered. It's the knowledge that our thoughts create our reality. Our minds are not just passive observers, they are powerful creators, shaping every experience, every interaction, every outcome in our lives. What you think about most of the time becomes your reality. Now you might be thinking, was it really that simple? Can my thoughts truly shape my life in such a profound way? Well, let me tell you this, it's not just a theory or some vague philosophical idea. This is a principle that has been proven time and time again. Every successful person you've ever admired, every great achiever in history, has understood this truth deeply. They didn't get to where they are by waiting for things to happen. They didn't get to where they are by letting life dictate their circumstances. They took control of their thoughts, and through that control, they took control of their lives. Think about it for a moment. If your thoughts are dominated by negativity, by feelings of helplessness, or by doubts about your abilities, what kind of results do you think you'll attract? The world responds to what we project. If we project uncertainty, fear, and negativity, that's exactly what we'll see reflected back in our lives. But if we focus on possibility, on growth, on the idea that we are capable of achieving greatness, the world has a remarkable way of aligning itself with that vision. The truth is, your mind is a magnet. Whatever you think about most will naturally be attracted into your life. This is the most fundamental truth of all. Thoughts become things. But there's something else that's often overlooked, something even more crucial to understand. It's not just about thinking positive thoughts and hoping for the best. It's about being deliberate, intentional with your thoughts. Most people wander through life without ever truly deciding what they want. They let the world push them around, reacting to whatever comes their way, instead of creating their own path. But here's the secret: you cannot afford to be passive. You must become the master of your own thoughts, the creator of your own future. What do you want? Have you ever really asked yourself that? Do you know exactly what you want out of life, what you want to achieve, what you want to become? I'm not talking about vague ideas like, I want to be happy, or I want to be successful. I'm talking about clarity. When you get clear on exactly what you want, and when you think about it every single day, the universe begins to respond to that clarity. The world starts to line up with your thoughts. Opportunities appear, people are drawn to you, and the circumstances in your life begin to shift in ways that you can hardly explain. The people who succeed, the people who reach the highest levels of achievement, are the ones who take their thoughts seriously. They don't let their minds wander aimlessly. They don't let their thoughts be dictated by fear or by the opinions of others. They decide what they want, and then they focus their minds on that vision every single day. It becomes a mental obsession, in the best sense of the word. They fill their minds with the idea of success, and they pursue it with relentless clarity and purpose. It's also important to realize that this is not a passive process. It's not about waiting for things to fall into place. It's about taking active steps every day to move toward your goal, to bring your thoughts into alignment with action. Thought without action is nothing but empty dreaming. But thought with action, now that's where the magic happens. When your thoughts are followed by deliberate actions, that's when the world begins to respond to your desires. That's when you start to see the fruits of your labor. In the end, it's all about choice. You choose what you think about. You choose how you respond to the world. You choose what you allow to occupy your mind. And those choices determine the direction your life will take. It's not the world that shapes you. It's your thoughts, your decisions, your focus that shape your world. So, the next time you find yourself wondering why things aren't going the way you want, take a step back. Look at your thoughts. What are you thinking about most of the time? Are you focusing on what you want, or are you letting fear and doubt control your mind? Remember this. Your thoughts are not just passing clouds in the sky. They are powerful forces that shape your reality. And when you harness the power of your mind, there is nothing that can stand in your way. How many times have you looked at someone else's life and thought, they must have something I don't? Maybe it's their success, their confidence, their ability to achieve things with what seems like little effort. We tend to view the world through a lens of comparison, constantly measuring ourselves against others, often feeling as though we fall short. But what if I told you that the only real difference between you and them is how they think? What if I told you that success is not some rare gift given to a select few, but a result of the way we choose to think? What if I told you that by simply changing the way you think, you could change the course of your life forever? Think about it. The most successful individuals aren't necessarily the most talented, the most fortunate, or the ones with the best connections. What they have in common is the ability to focus on what they want with such intensity that they cannot help but achieve it. They don't leave their dreams up to chance. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't let distractions pull them off course. Instead, they make a decision. They decide exactly what they want, and then they fix their minds on it with unwavering commitment. You see, success begins in the mind. It's an internal process long before it ever manifests externally. The problem is, too many people fail to understand this. They chase after the wrong things, guided by what others tell them is important or what society dictates as the path to success. But if you don't first decide for yourself what it is that you want, you'll never truly know what you're working toward. Without a clear vision, you'll find yourself lost in the noise of the world, pulled in every direction by the latest trend, the latest opportunity, or the latest person who promises to show you the way. Here's the truth. When you know what you want, the entire universe shifts to align with your vision. But this isn't about wishing for things to fall into your lap. This is about clarity. Clarity in your goals, clarity in your thoughts, and clarity in your actions. Without this clarity, your mind becomes a cluttered mess of half-formed ideas and conflicting desires. You end up chasing one thing, then another, never truly committing to anything. And without commitment, you'll never experience the kind of results that come from sustained focus and effort. When you set a clear goal, your mind begins to filter out distractions. It begins to focus on the possibilities, not the limitations. Your mind will start to look for opportunities, and you will begin to see them where others see obstacles. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not that one group is luckier than the other, but that the successful group has learned to see opportunity in everything. They don't let challenges hold them back. Instead, they see every difficulty as an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to learn, and an opportunity to improve. You may ask, what if I don't know what I want yet? That's okay, but you need to start somewhere. You don't need the entire blueprint for your life, but you need a direction. And here's the key: once you start moving toward a goal, even if it's not the perfect one, your mind will begin to tune your focus. It will begin to bring you the people, the knowledge, the resources you need to get closer to that goal. But none of this will happen if you sit back and wait for the world to tell you what to do. The power of your thoughts lies not just in the act of thinking, but in the ability to choose what to think about. It's in choosing what you allow to occupy your mind, deciding what thoughts you will nurture and which ones you will discard. Most people let their minds run wild, allowing negative thoughts, fears, and worries to take root without even realizing it. And these negative thoughts, when left unchecked, grow into limiting beliefs that hold them back from achieving their true potential. But the key to success lies in taking control of your mind and deliberately choosing thoughts that are aligned with your goals. In the beginning, it's not easy. You will face doubt, you will face fear, you will face setbacks. But here's the truth: every successful person you admire has faced those same obstacles. The difference is that they didn't let those obstacles define them. They didn't let failure stop them. They didn't let fear prevent them from moving forward. Instead, they used each challenge as fuel for their journey, knowing that with every setback, they were one step closer to achieving their goal. As you go through life, you will encounter countless distractions. People will tell you what you should be doing. The world will push you in different directions. But if you are clear about what you want, if you are laser focused on your vision, those distractions will have less power over you. You will be able to see past the noise and stay on course, because your mind will be aligned with your purpose. And here's the most beautiful part: this doesn't take any extraordinary talent. It doesn't take any special abilities. What it takes is the decision to believe in yourself and the commitment to take consistent action every day toward your goal. It takes the discipline to focus on what you want and the courage to keep going, even when things get tough. If you do that, if you commit to your thoughts and your vision with everything you've got, there's nothing in this world that can stop you. So ask yourself, what do I want? And once you have that answer, hold on to it with every ounce of your being. Nurture it, protect it, and watch as the world aligns itself to bring it into your life. Because when you know exactly what you want, your mind will find the way to make it happen. There is something that most people fail to understand about the way life works. Something so simple yet so powerful that it can change everything for anyone who is willing to truly grasp it. It's the fact that you, right now, are living the result of your thoughts. Your life is not a random series of events. It's not the result of luck or chance. It's the direct consequence of the thoughts you've been thinking, day in and day out. If your life is not where you want it to be, the first step is to take responsibility for your thoughts. And once you realize that your thoughts are the architect of your reality, you can start to change your life in ways you never thought possible. Most people believe that their circumstances shape who they are, that they are the product of their environment, their upbringing, or their luck. But that's simply not true. Your environment may have an influence on you, but it doesn't define you. Your past may shape who you are, but it doesn't have to determine your future. It's your thoughts, your focus, and your mental attitude that dictate the direction of your life. The moment you understand this, you unlock the greatest power in existence, the power to choose your thoughts and, in doing so, to change the course of your life. Think about it for a moment. When you think, you have the power to create your own reality. Every thought you have is like a seed that you plant in the soil of your mind. And just like any seed, the thought you plant will eventually grow and bear fruit. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not about what they have, but about what they think. It's about what they choose to focus on, what they choose to nurture, and what they choose to ignore. The people who achieve the most in life aren't the ones who have the most talent or the most resources. They are the ones who have learned to focus their thoughts in such a way that they are consistently creating the future they want. The key to success is simple. Decide what you want, focus on it with clarity, and take consistent action toward it. When you do this, your mind will start to work on your behalf. It will begin to attract the right opportunities, the right people, and the right circumstances. But none of this will happen unless you start by changing the way you think. You cannot expect to create a life of success and happiness if you are constantly thinking about failure, about what you don't want, or about the obstacles in your way. Instead, you must focus on what you do want, your goals, your dreams, your vision for the future. You must understand that thoughts are not passive. They are active, creative forces. And when you give them focus, when you give them attention, they begin to shape your reality in ways that are almost magical. If you focus on negative thoughts, on fear, on doubt, on what could go wrong, then that is exactly what you will attract. Your mind will filter out the positive possibilities and zero in on the negative ones. But when you shift your focus, when you choose to think about what you want and take positive action toward it, your life begins to change. There's no magic involved here. There are no shortcuts or secret formulas. The process is simple. Think about what you want, keep your thoughts aligned with that vision, and take action every day toward that goal. It may seem too easy, but that's the brilliance of it. Most people overlook the power of their own thoughts because they are too focused on external circumstances, on things they cannot control. But the truth is, you control your thoughts, and in controlling your thoughts, you control your life. You can choose to think about success. You can choose to think about the future you want to create. You can choose to think about your goals and what it will take to achieve them. And when you do this, your mind begins to align with your desires. It works tirelessly day and night to bring those desires into your reality. This is not a vague concept. It's not a theory. It's a fundamental law of nature. You get what you focus on, period. But what happens when you focus on the obstacles? What happens when you dwell on the challenges, the setbacks, or the reasons why something can't be done? You get more of that too. It's easy to fall into the trap of focusing on everything that's wrong with your life, everything that's not working. But here's the truth. What you focus on expands. When you focus on your problems will grow. When you focus on your goals will grow. And the more you focus on what you want, the more you will find yourself moving in that direction. If you want to create a life of abundance, of success, and of happiness, you must start by changing your thoughts. You must decide what you want, focus on it, and take consistent action toward it. And you must do this every single day. Your mind is like a muscle. The more you exercise it with positive, focused thoughts, the stronger it becomes. And the stronger it becomes, the more capable you are of turning your dreams into reality. It's time to stop being a passive observer in your own life. It's time to take control of your thoughts and, by doing so, take control of your future. If you want to change your life, change your thoughts. You are the creator of your own reality. You have the power to think your way to success. The question is, what are you going to think about today? When you look at someone who seems to be effortlessly achieving their goals, do you ever wonder how they do it? How do they consistently seem to move forward, no matter the challenges? They don't seem to be waiting for things to magically align, and they're certainly not hoping for a lucky break. The truth is, they've learned something incredibly powerful, something that sets them apart from the rest of the world. They know exactly what they want, and they have mastered the art of clarity. They don't just wish for success. They don't just dream of it. They have a clear, vivid picture of their future in their minds, and that clarity drives every decision, every action they take. Most people walk through life with a vague sense of what they want. They say things like, "I want to be successful," or "I want to be happy." These are nice ideas, but they're too general to guide meaningful action. If you want to achieve anything of significance in life, you need a clear destination, a specific goal that you can focus on with unrelenting precision. Clarity is not just important, it's essential. It's the foundation of success because without it, your mind has nothing to work with. Think about it this way: if you were to take a road trip without a map, without an address, without any idea of where you're going, how would you ever get there? You wouldn't. You might drive for a while, but eventually you would be lost, unsure of which direction to take. The same thing happens in life. If you don't know exactly what you want, your mind cannot help you get there. It will wander aimlessly, distracted by the noise of everyday life, and you will find yourself stuck in the same place year after year. When you have clarity, however, your mind becomes like a laser beam, cutting through all distractions and focusing entirely on your goal. You begin to attract the right opportunities, the right people, and the right resources. the world begins to align itself with your vision. Why? Because when you focus on something clearly, you begin to see it everywhere. Your mind starts to filter the world in such a way that you begin to notice things that are relevant to your goal. What was once invisible to you now becomes a part of your reality. It's not magic, it's science. When you set a clear goal and focus on it with unwavering attention, your subconscious mind begins to work on your behalf, guiding you toward that goal, solving problems, overcoming obstacles, and creating opportunities that you may not have even been aware of. But this only happens when your thoughts are focused and clear. If your mind is scattered, if you are unsure of what you want, it's like trying to drive a car with no destination in mind. You won't know which way to turn, and you'll waste precious time and energy going in circles. The key to achieving your goals, then, is to get crystal clear about what it is that you want. Define it. Write it down, see it in your mind. Imagine every detail of it. Feel the emotions of having it. When you can do this, you create a powerful magnet for your success. Your thoughts become so aligned with your goal that you begin to attract everything you need to make it happen. Opportunities will appear. People will show up. Resources will come your way. The universe begins to respond to your clarity. But it's not enough just to think about it. You must also take action. Once you've defined your goal and focused your thoughts on it, the next step is to move toward it every single day. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about taking whatever steps you can, no matter how small, in the direction of your goal. And as you take those steps, your clarity will sharpen even further. Your mind will begin to notice the little things that can help you get closer to your goal. What seemed impossible a few weeks ago now seems possible, even inevitable. This is the power of clarity. When you are clear on what you want, your mind becomes your most powerful ally. It becomes a problem-solving machine, constantly working behind the scenes to bring your vision to life. But clarity is not something that just happens. It's something you create. It takes effort to define what you want, to really get specific about your goals. It takes discipline to focus on that goal and to take consistent action toward it. And it takes courage to trust in the process, even when the road gets tough. The most successful people are those who have figured this out. They don't let their minds wander. They don't let distractions pull them away from their purpose. They know exactly what they want, and they are single-minded in their pursuit of it. They don't let the opinions of others sway them. They don't let the fear of failure stop them. They simply focus on their goal, and they move toward it with everything they have. Now, this doesn't mean that things will always go smoothly. You will encounter challenges. You will face setbacks. But with clarity, those challenges become nothing more than temporary obstacles. You know exactly what you want, and you know that nothing can stop you from achieving it, except for your own lack of focus. So ask yourself, what do I want? And how clear am I about it? Can I see it, feel it, taste it in my mind? Because until you get crystal clear on what you want, you will always be adrift, moving from one thing to another without a clear direction. But when you decide exactly what you want and focus all your energy on that vision, you will unlock a power within yourself that is unstoppable. Your mind will become your most powerful ally, guiding you toward the life you've always dreamed of. Imagine for a moment that you have a goal, a clear vision of what you want to achieve, and you know exactly what steps you need to take to get there. You've thought about it, planned it, and even begun taking action. But somewhere along the way, you face challenges. You encounter obstacles, setbacks, and difficulties that threaten to derail your progress. It's easy in these moments to feel discouraged, to wonder if you're on the right path, or to question if success is truly possible. But here's the truth. Every single successful person you've ever admired has faced these same obstacles. The difference is not that they didn't encounter difficulties, but that they didn't let them stop them. Success is not defined by how smoothly things go, but by how you respond when things go wrong. The path to achieving your goals is never a straight line. There will always be bumps along the way, and there will be times when things don't go according to plan. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't lies in the ability to persist, to keep going when things get tough, and to view every obstacle as an opportunity to grow. Obstacles are inevitable. They are part of the process, and they will come in many forms. Some may be external, a lack of resources, an unexpected setback, or an unfavorable turn of events. Others may be internal fear, self-doubt, or a lack of confidence. But in every case, obstacles are not roadblocks. They are challenges to be faced, lessons to be learned, and opportunities to strengthen your resolve. When you encounter an obstacle, it's natural to feel frustrated. It's natural to question whether you are doing the right thing. But what separates those who ultimately achieve success from those who give up is the ability to keep moving forward, to refuse to let setbacks define you. You see, setbacks don't determine your future. Your response to those setbacks does. Each time you face a challenge, you have two choices. You can let it stop you, or you can use it as fuel to drive you even harder toward your goal. Every setback is a lesson, every failure a stepping stone toward success. The successful person understands that obstacles are not signs that they should stop, but signs that they are on the right track. When you hit a wall, it's not the end of the journey. It's a sign that it's time to find a new way forward. This is where the power of persistence comes in. Persistence is not about pushing through every obstacle with sheer force. It's about staying focused on your goal, adjusting your approach when necessary, and continuing to move forward with determination. Persistence is about knowing that, no matter how hard it gets, you are committed to your goal and will do whatever it takes to reach it. One of the greatest powers you have is your ability to adapt. Life is unpredictable, and you can't always control what happens to you. But you can control how you respond. When things don't go as planned, don't get stuck in frustration or self-pity. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this experience? What's the next step I can take, no matter how small, to keep moving forward? Adversity can either break you or build you, depending on how you choose to respond. The most successful people are not the ones who never face challenges. They are the ones who choose to face those challenges head-on and use them as opportunities to grow stronger. The person who persists through difficulty is the person who eventually emerges victorious. It's also important to understand that success is not a matter of luck. It's a matter of resilience. It's a matter of showing up every single day, no matter how you feel, no matter what obstacles stand in your way. It's about committing to your goal, taking action, and doing what you can to make progress each day. The more you persist, the more you learn, and the closer you get to your ultimate success. So as you work toward your goals, know this: setbacks are not signs to stop. They are signs to keep going. When you face an obstacle, take a step back, assess the situation, and ask yourself, what's the next move? Don't allow frustration or doubt to derail your progress. Understand that success is not about avoiding obstacles. It's about how you respond to them. It's about perseverance, adaptability, and the refusal to quit in the face of adversity. The road to success may not always be easy, but it is always worth it. Every challenge you face is shaping you, strengthening you, and preparing you for greater success. The successful person doesn't give up when things get tough. They press on, they adapt, and they continue to move toward their goal with determination and focus. The greatest rewards in life are reserved for those who persist, who stay the course, and who refuse to let obstacles define them. Your obstacles are not there to stop you. They are there to help you grow, to teach you, and to prepare you for the success that lies ahead. When you face them with the right mindset, you will see them for what they truly are: opportunities in disguise. Keep moving forward, and you will find that nothing can stand in your way. You may have heard it said that like attracts like, or that you get what you focus on. These aren't just catchy phrases. They are universal truths that govern the way life works. Think about it for a moment. Everything around you, everything that's in your life right now, has been drawn to you by your thoughts. If you look around and you see things that you don't like, things that you don't want, there's a simple reason for it: your thoughts have attracted them. Your mind, like a magnet, draws to you exactly what you are thinking about most of the time. But this works both ways. If you are clear about what you want, if you focus on your goals and the life you desire, you will begin to attract everything you need to make that life a reality. Your mind is incredibly powerful. It is not just a passive observer of the world, it is a creative force that actively shapes the world you experience. Everything in your life has been created by your thoughts, whether you realize it or not. This is why understanding the power of your mind is so critical. When you recognize that you are in control of your thoughts, you realize that you are in control of your life. But here's the catch. Most people don't consciously control their thoughts. They let their minds wander, often focusing on things they don't want or things they fear. They focus on the obstacles, the problems, the things they don't have. And as a result, they continue to attract more of what they don't want. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you constantly think about failure, you'll continue to experience failure. If you constantly think about what's wrong, you'll keep seeing more things that are wrong. The key to changing your life is to take control of your thoughts. Instead of letting your mind run wild, you must consciously choose what you focus on. If you want to attract success, focus on success. If you want to attract abundance, focus on abundance. If you want to attract happiness, focus on happiness. Your mind works like a filter, and what you feed it will shape the way you experience life. But just focusing on what you want isn't enough. You must also believe that you can have it. Belief is the driving force behind action. If you don't believe that you deserve success, if you don't believe that you can achieve your goals, then no amount of positive thinking will matter. Belief is the foundation of all achievement. When you believe that something is possible, you are more likely to take the steps necessary to make it happen. When you believe that you deserve something, you begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You begin to act with confidence, knowing that you are capable of creating the life you want. Attracting what you want requires more than just wishing for it. It requires a mindset shift. It requires an unwavering belief that you can have what you want and that you deserve it. This belief fuels your actions, and as you take those actions, you begin to create momentum. The more you move toward your goal, the more you will attract what you need to make it happen. The universe or life, whatever you prefer to call it, will begin to respond to your belief. It will provide you with the opportunities, people, and resources you need to succeed. But you must be careful not to let doubt creep in. Doubt is the enemy of belief. It is the opposite of clarity. When you doubt yourself, when you doubt your abilities or your chances of success, you are sending the message to your subconscious mind that you don't believe you can have what you want. And your subconscious mind, which is always working to bring you what you focus on, will respond by providing you with more doubt, more uncertainty, and more obstacles. So, how do you overcome doubt? The first step is to recognize that doubt is natural. It's a part of the process. Everyone experiences doubt at some point. But the key is to not let it control you. When doubt creeps in, acknowledge it, but don't give it power. Refuse to focus on it. Instead, focus on what you want. Focus on your goal. Remind yourself that you are capable, that you deserve success, and that you are moving closer to your goal with every action you take. The more you focus on your goal and the more you believe in your ability to achieve it, the less room there will be for doubt. Your mind is a powerful magnet. It draws to you what you think about most of the time. So if you want to change your life, you must change your thoughts. Begin by focusing on what you want, not what you don't want. Begin by believing that you are capable of achieving your goals and that you deserve success. Take consistent action toward your goal and watch as the world begins to respond to your new mindset. The universe will provide you with the opportunities, resources, and people you need to make your dreams a reality. Remember, you attract what you are, not what you wish for. If you want to attract success, you must think like a successful person. If you want to attract abundance, you must think like someone who is already abundant. The power to create the life you want is within you. It starts with your thoughts, and when you choose to think differently, you begin to attract the life you've always dreamed of. As we come to the end of this journey, it's essential to remember the simple yet profound truth that has the power to change everything. Your thoughts shape your reality. Everything you've experienced, everything you are experiencing, and everything you will experience in the future is, in some way, a result of your thinking. This isn't just about positive thinking or wishful dreaming. It's about taking full responsibility for the power of your mind. It's about being intentional with every thought, every decision, and every action you take. Success doesn't come by accident. It's not reserved for the lucky few or the exceptionally gifted. Success comes to those who decide exactly what they want, who focus on their goals with clarity, and who persist through every obstacle with unwavering determination. When you harness the power of your thoughts and take deliberate action toward your dreams, nothing can stop you. The challenges you face, the setbacks that come your way, the doubts and fears that creep into your mind, they are not there to stop you. They are there to help you grow, to test your resolve, and to prepare you for the success that awaits. It's not the obstacles that define your future. It's your response to them. Every successful person, every person who has achieved greatness, has understood one thing: they became what they thought about. Their thoughts were focused, their actions were deliberate, and they never lost sight of their vision. You have the same power within you. You have the ability to create the life you desire, to overcome any challenge, and to achieve the success you deserve. So the question now is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you let it change the way you think, the way you act, and the way you live? Will you take control of your thoughts and begin shaping your reality today? The power is in your hands. The only limit is the one you place on yourself. Choose your thoughts wisely, take consistent action, and watch as the life you've always dreamed of begins to unfold before your eyes.